Nothing quite like seeing the haka to set the stage for Anzac Day. We've just had a ripping contest in the Mixed Opens division, claimed by Australia. And that women's match there as well. That one went to extra time, down to 3-on-3. Bartlett combining with Ashurst to claim victory in that women's open encounter. So Australia 2 from 2 so far for our Anzac Day test matches. Great to have your company in Mudgee for the Asia Pacific Opens Touch Cup for 2026. Another classic set to occur here. A lot of changes for this New Zealand side. Australia, of course, they are the benchmark. They're the ones to beat. Can they get it done with all three here on Anzac Day? Great to have your company as we pay respect to our diggers. James Preston with you alongside Jackson Mills. Have you calmed down yet from that incredible finish, Jackson?
It's pretty incredible, wasn't it? The Women's Open taken by Australia, 6 tries to 5 in extra time. Went to drop off 3-on-3 on any touch field. It's just so grueling on the body. They're such good athletes. It's great to see. I actually spoke to a few of the New Zealand Men's Open players this morning while we were marching through the town of Mudgee, and they are so excited and they are so up and about for this game. They're so confident and they're ready to take it to the Australians.
They'll be led by that man right in the middle of your screen, number 5, E4 Jones. He's been in terrific form, dating back to that World Cup final, winning Player of the Match honours in a losing side, for that matter as well. That doesn't happen too often on the biggest stage of all, but Australia, they'll be up for the task here. So much talent, so much speed and creativity in this side. Look at the likes of Corey Russell, arguably the GOAT, Dylan Hennessy, Chris Lennon, one of the best players in the world. It seems like an insurmountable task, but there is one nation that can take it to the Aussies. It is New Zealand. They're going to get first use of possession. We're underway now for the last of our Trans-Tasman matches. Australia v New Zealand on Anzac Day. E4 Jones turning it out to this left-hand side. Rapati then cutting it forward, met there by Russell. About 10 metres away on set number 1. They'll get a good shot at the line on this occasion. Now having a little look is Tuakana Hudson, sends it back out to this right-hand side. Great footwork. They've burnt them momentarily, nearly all the way through. Good touch in the end made by Kane. So last one brought up here for New Zealand. A rapid fling out to this left-hand side here for Jones with a couple of dummies. Nearly fooled them with nowhere to go.
Even I fell for that. Didn't fool Bailey Assay. Jake Notley just taking the bait, but it was Jack Edwards with a great touch on the try line for Australia as they drive to get some substitutions on. And it's a good go forward now through Kyson Boland. Check out the orange boots.
Now Lennon on the last here, threatening, pulling the trigger out wide. He goes. A little bit of a dummy then from Jake Notley. Tries to pop it back on the inside, but geez, we've got some red-hot characters in this one. I would say, Jackson, the two most informed players in the world right now, Lennon v Jones.
Yeah, Lennon just getting a bit of a touch-up from Tama Ropati after he throws the ball. Hennessy out there, the right-hand link, and just off screen there, you can see Ropati just giving it to Lennon, saying welcome to the Anzac Day test. As New Zealand now back on the attack.
So up over halfway they go. Simbolan standing tall, making the touch. Scooped up once again. Left-hand raid on this occasion. Durban Burgess hits the deck, gets up to go again, and nearly created something out of nothing down that short side, Durban Burgess. He's just so quick.
You can see the tactic from New Zealand there. Dylan Hennessy. He's still got the ball speed, but he may have lost a little bit of foot speed as he's gotten a little bit more senior. So Durban Burgess was looking to absolutely just pick up from dubby half and burn Dylan into the in-goal. So keep an eye out for Durban Burgess, number 4, co-captain of New Zealand.
Now Australia here on the last, just outside the 7. Draw and pass was nice, but good shuffling defence there. Poi Hippie shut down the space. Ball hits the deck. So no change to the score as of yet. Just over 2 gone. It's been good attack from both teams here. equaled out with those defensive pressures. It's now New Zealand. Drive it forward, up along the sideline. Good meters off the back of that run there. Morrison once again taking plenty of yardage. Now space for Hawken, drops it down. Last one brought up here for New Zealand. They find a bit of space, popping a pass. What about that for a push down?
That is
down.
That
should be Poi Hippie, who's on the spot. What a ball. Blink and you'll miss it, but Poi Hippie stayed alive in the play and slams it down with one hand to give New Zealand the lead.
That's amazing. From touches 1, 2 and 3 from New Zealand, they put on the momentum. And check out the foot speed. We said they were going to target the link defender. Moffat just peeling off, leaving Tamaropati through. And it's Pohipi just with the one-handed put down. Now that's going to be a try that we see on the highlight reel for years to come.
Do the Emus have a response? So straight away, they're back into it now. Quick release out to that right-hand side. Dancing feet once again. This time, New Zealand deal with it well.
Great
Peter
touch.
Norman was looking very likely, though.
Lance Davis just outstretched his right arm and just nicked Norman on the way down. He had a blinder yesterday, Davids, in a few of the round games here on Field 1. Streaking away with an intercept.
Jones up over halfway. Oh, they were looking for that quick roll ball. There was no touch made initially. Eventually the fingertips, though, onto Tuakana Hudson as they come out to this left-hand side. Jones, we haven't seen too much of him so far in this one.
So interestingly, the two sets that we've seen New Zealand roll up the field, they've tried to dump the fifth and last touch on the right-hand side defensive link for Australia. So that might be a new tactic that we see from New Zealand. They've dumped it and they've tried to gas from dummy half. So keep an eye out for that tactic used by New Zealand.
Simbolan once again darting out to this left-hand side, not finding any support on this occasion. Simply killing it away from the New Zealand box. So 4:20 gone. New Zealand 1, Australia 0. It's a massive crowd that's built here as well at Glen Willow Regional Sporting Complex. Just about the entire grandstand is full to the brim.
Some good words exchanged by Sinclair and Simbolan. Just having a few words as they meet in the middle of the park now.
A good carry, though, from New Zealand as they come out to this left-hand side to Akana Hudson. Quick release, and then for Sinclair. Jones back into the action. Up over halfway he goes. So there by Hennessy.
They've done this every time. They've gone back to the short side, picking up from half.
Now another chance to go here once more. Ropati trying to find a little way through. They have certainly been targeting that short side so far.
Every single touch. So you see what they do? They creep back into the middle of the field and they look like they're going to go open side, take one step, come back to the short side and dump it on the link. So that's something that we see now New Zealand are actually going towards.
Back to the well. Australia, though, looking for an opening try. This comes here for Luke Kane. Good meters from him. Now Lennon carting it forward. Assay hops in at acting half, turns it back to the middle once more. Langbridge still finding an opening. Oh, back to Assay. That's beautiful from Langbridge, who just dug deep into the line. A little swerve in his run. Interested multiple defenders and then pops the pass for Assay.
Yeah, it was kind of something out of absolutely nothing. Just caused, catching the New Zealand defensive line napping. And Langbridge just scheming around the defensive line of New Zealand, skipping on the outside of the link and just popping it to Assay as easy as you like. And quite an easy hit back from Australia.
So one try apiece now, 6 gone. New Zealand, that opening effort from Poi Hippie, it was a good one. Kicked that there through Langbridge and Assay. Jones is back on deck though. Now a lovely little effort from range from Tuakana Hudson. Just turned away there. No real panic from the Emus right on the line. Yet to see Jones really launch a rain. Does he have something in the arsenal here? Now a little wraparound from Jones. Floats a pass over the top. They were looking for the tip back, but very well covered from Bailey Assay.
That was such a great play and good setup. E4 Jones just popping on the outside. Yeah, Barnett just couldn't get his hands on it. I thought if he may have been able to tap it back on the inside to Winiana. Unfortunately, Assay up to the task. David Baggio, referee in the centre of the pitch, just warning New Zealand to ease up on those touches.
Assay now with a short delivery for Lennon up into enemy territory. Simbolan met with a high pressing line. Still just trying to target these middles, though. Lennon looking for the quick wraparound, gets it here at speed. Lennon always a danger once he puts the foot down. And geez, didn't he do exactly that there? Burns them on the outside. Chris Lennon, take a bow.
Great strike dump from Kyson Boland, the man in the fluoro orange boots. It's good straighten up by Moffat. Early release to Chris Lennon. Dummies just gives him enough space. So Takana Hudson couldn't get there, but just blistering speed from Chris Lennon digging into the defensive line of New Zealand. And Australia go 2 up. 2 tries to 1.
I don't know what the nickname is for Chris Lennon. The Flash might be quite fitting, though. He's very swift as now Durban Burgess, another real speedster. Back out there for New Zealand. Scoops it, finds Jones. Jones dancing. Oh, what a step that was. Nearly opened a gap that should never have existed. Back to the 7 he goes now. Last one brought up. Jones still there in support. And try a very late switch, but no panic from Australia. Now a quick release out to this left-hand side. Marking up is Finch. Show them the sideline. Up towards halfway. Over that mark now. Hayden Moffat with a good carry. Then Kenny back towards the middle. Pete Norman drops it down. Last one brought up. Hennessy scheming. Short delivery. There's the flick pass coming out, but that's really good defence from New Zealand.
Good attack from Australia, though, getting up the other end of the field. But, yeah, you're right, New Zealand able to stop the likes of Dylan Hennessy and Corey Russell. You saw Dylan with ball in hand, has one of the best passes to have ever existed anywhere in the world. It's great to see him still running around, and there he is, the right-hand defensive link for Australia as New Zealand back on the attack.
Up towards halfway now. Fresh troops arriving. Keep driving forward once again down that left-hand short side. They'll scoop and go once more. Looking dangerous. Rapate once again splits them and finds support there. This time Winiana's on the spot. But geez, they've gone back to the well. You called for it. New Zealand's certainly listening.
Yeah, they're actively going to that defensive link. I have not seen this in 10 years from New Zealand. They've obviously identified something, and it doesn't matter who is defending there. We've seen him go twice at Dylan Hennessy, and another time when Hayden Moffat was in the link. Hayden Moffat is very fast, so they've obviously seen something from the defensive right-hand edge of Australia, and I like that from New Zealand.
We talk about a raft of changes for this side, along with the coaching staff too, and certainly something a little bit different here for New Zealand in the opening exchanges against the Aussies. Lennon now backpedaling outside of the 7. Dancing around, Simbolan returns to him. Lennon, big dummy, and then took them on through the middle. Well watched from New Zealand. Last one brought up, Simbolan. Lennon, just a little short delivery there for Kenny, trying to push through a gap and easily shut down from the Kiwis.
So what I'm interested in, we just saw New Zealand score from this position in the last set. So let's see if they get to their substitution box, if they go away from that link attacking zone, or if they come back to the middle of the field. Because what I'm interested in is what Australia does to react to that type of setup from New Zealand. They've got good line speed, Australia, so they probably won't get a nice strike dump, but they do now.
Here they go again with Durban Burgess now bouncing around once more. Rapati finds another gap, looking for support. Coming late and just outside of the dead ball line, but it was very close. Pushing through was Barnett, I should say, and he nearly got there. Look at Rapati once again, the hop and the skip. Change of pace, popping a ball over the top. So close to getting it down in time.
But what I'm so interested to see is what Australia does. They've done that 4 times now, broken the defensive line of Australia 3 times, and scored off it twice. So how does Australia counteract that? That's what I'm really interested to see how they adapt.
I'll be particularly interested for the second half. We know it's rather tough to make those recalibrations on the fly. They might get a chance to do so at the break, but still more danger, at least for the next 9 or so minutes. So that one then flung over the sideline from the Aussies, and it will be a penalty as a result. So locked up at 2 apiece. New Zealand, of course, they haven't exactly had the wood on Australia over the years in this division.
No, I can see Phil Guymore in the Australian substitution box, the head coach of Australia. He's just having a few words to his players, trying to understand how they should be defending that. You can see his hand movements about what they should be doing between the defending middle and the defending link if New Zealand go to that attacking edge again.
New Zealand this time, though, up through the guts. David's then linking with Durban Burgess before Morrison gets involved as well. David's another great run. Picks up 15 metres in traffic. Now the roll-on begins for New Zealand. There's the quick roll balls. A little bit off the mark, though. I think they were a touch unlucky because there was a double swipe from the Aussies.
Yeah, I think Riley Jones just nicked Chicana Hudson on the finger. A good field position now for Australia with some good go forward through the substitution box.
Jones and then Lennon back into the action. Met there with a two-man touch. Norman now distributing for Russell. Back to Norman, looking dangerous. Oh, played out there from New Zealand. That'll be another set to work with here for the Aussies, and probably the first time in a bit of time they can really build a bit of pressure on this line.
Yeah, you saw Norman use Lennon as a distraction as he wrapped around quick. Norman cutting back off the right foot, but you got the superstars out there, don't you? Lennon, Russell, Hennessy, Norman. The left foot and the left pass of Lennon. Speed of Russell and the right pass of Hennessy.
So Lennon now linking with Russell. Lennon will scoop. He's looking to go back to Russell instead. Found Norman. Losing ground on that play there, Australia. Lennon once more has a look, and once again, David's got interested.
I tell you what, if he takes clean possession, we saw yesterday on the broadcast, Davids would just be streaking away.
I'm not even sure Lennon would catch him. He's that quick. There's Norman now just slowing things down a touch outside the 7. Truck down once again. Lennon with a little change of angle right at the line. Well watched from New Zealand. 3 of them in the end converging upon him.
Exactly, but look at that. There's 3 in the touch on Chris Lennon, which means there's got to be space somewhere else. So keep an eye on Chris Lennon. They may use him as a decoy. We saw Norman already use him once. Now Kane with possession.
Hennessy, little dummy. Simbolin's back out there as well. Lennon dropping it down. Kane, quick release. Lennon scheming. Wants a little play the ball inside the 7. Oh, Lennon put it high and long. Nearly taken once again here from Poi Hippie. Offside will be the call. So that's the first penalty inside the 7, despite now a 4th set for Australia.
Yeah, great defence from New Zealand. Australia, best attacking team in the world, but New Zealand doing really well to keep them at bay.
Can they hold off another set, though? That's the big question. Hennessy, short side Ray with Simbolin. Catch and
what
pass.
A touch.
And somehow they've stopped it. It was Poi Hippie who got there in time. Simbolin back to Hennessy, onto the 7. Hennessy scheming, flat pass, face ball, Lennon with the flick pass for Assay. Oh yeah, baby. That's a real good one for Australia. That's up there with the best try of the tournament.
Hennessy coming out of the right link. It's a bullet of a pass. And Lennon just does enough to catch and flick into the hands of Bailey Assay. Take a bow, Chris Lennon. We know how good he is.
The skill in that one too, Jackson. He's right-handed. That's the opposite hand flick pass with a man jamming in from the wing.
Yeah, pretty amazing from Chris Lennon. He's a freak.
So 3-2 the score. Another cracking encounter. Geez, we've been spoiled here for Anzac Day. They've all been great games.
I've got to say, New Zealand did quite well to defend 4 sets on the line and not let them score. And then they end up scoring off some freaky play. So it just goes to show maybe they do need something to happen for Australia in order to cross the line. But New Zealand now back
with a couple of big bang right foot steps, burns them through the middle. It's crack off the right, crack again, and E4 Jones has gone off as well. That is from the top shelf from Ropati.
Yeah, Tama Ropati, check out this. This is something absolutely spectacular. Crack off the right again. Langridge goes, Jones goes. Ropati splits Jones and splits Jake Notley. That is one of the tries of the tournament. He's had his hands on everything, Ropati.
What a cracking contest this is. Norman scoops it from acting half into Moffat. Moffat, a big little shoulder glance there, and he got right through him. Like one of those little cowboy barn doors. Morgan Tafia pushed aside, brushed through on the way for a try, and now tempers are flaring as well.
Yeah, a bit of aggression between Australia and New Zealand. Not happy about Moffat not giving him the ball back, but you can see the New Zealand defender just offside. David's claimed it. I think it would have been close. The referee's in a better decision, but Corey Russell just ruffling some feathers with Morgan Tafia. Tempers flaring here in Mudgee now.
He certainly took umbrage to it. 4-3 the score, though. The Aussies still got the benefit of getting in front on the scoreboard off the back of that play. As much as it might have ruffled the feathers of New Zealand, they need a hit back here instead. E4 Jones floating, sending a pass long and wide. What a ball from E4 Jones. It was pinpoint surgical precision into the arms of Barnett. It goes. Nobody on the Emu side ready for that one.
Yeah, and there's no words exchanged, funnily enough, between New Zealand. Great ball by E4 Jones. He can step, he can dive, he can throw cutouts. Finn Barnett making it look too easy for New Zealand. Great hit back for all. 2.5 minutes to play.
We talk about the short release from Dylan Hennessy, but E4 Jones has a great disguise with that long ball as well. It's now Lennon, short release. That one's touched in flight. It'll end up into the arms of the Aussies, and Moffat goes back to back, pushing through a gap.
Yeah, lucky break there for Australia. Moffat pushing through the hole, just getting the deflection. It was a good setup. Watch the quick hands here from Langbridge to Lennon, back to Jones, and it's just deflected off the New Zealand defender in Moffat. Cleaning up the scraps and putting Australia ahead by 1.
5-4 the score, less than 2 to go in this first half. Great action the entire time. As now Tuakana Hudson drops it down. E4 Jones getting more and more involved as this game goes on. Played about 10 metres away. Ropati once again with that big right foot step, causing a little bit of concern, but Australia denying him on this occasion. So now metres for Kane, little show and go before eventually taking the run. In fact, Edwards it was, but he's been pinged there. So New Zealand with a golden chance just before the break.
And he got Tama Ropati in the 13 for New Zealand. We saw how dangerous he was with that right foot crack. He cracked 2 of Australia's best defenders. Now they've put Durban Burgess on to the attack with Davids, Ropati and Matt Sinclair out here in the right link.
Big weapons for New Zealand. They'll backpedal here and open up the space a touch. Davids now trying to wind up. Durban Burgess taking off. Lovely release. Ropati finds a good ball. Sinclair pushing through the gap. They were worried about the step, but they needed to be worried about the ball.
Yeah, Durban Burgess, I thought he was going to take off from half, but actually fakes Australia out. Gives a nice open pass back to the centre of the field to Ropati, who assesses the situation nicely, and it's Sinclair running a beautiful unders line. Ropati with his 3rd try assist and a try to himself. He's got his hands on everything for New Zealand.
Now Langbridge rolls it back quickly. Lennon floating it over the top, looking for the little tip back for Hennessy. Good footwork from Hennessy to evade the touch. A lovely bit of play across the board. Long from Lennon. Mansour out wide, pops the pass, and Hennessy scores right before the siren.
And that's a huge relief for Australia going into half-time, and Mansour just dipping it back over the top to Hennessy. Davids couldn't collapse in on Dylan, and Mansour fired up after that try. But what a start it is for Australia and New Zealand. There's been some spectacular tries, flick passes from Lennon, crackbacks from Ropati. Not only crackbacks, double crackbacks at once. Some phenomenal display of touch football as we take a look at the highlights here in the first half. Hennessy with a cracking right to left ball. Chris Lennon, that's why he's one of the best in the world. Just flicking it out the back, and check out this. 1-2 from Ropati with a dive through the middle. That is probably one of my favourite tries I've ever seen. I'd put that on a poster in my room. And Moffat turning New Zealand inside out. Saw a nice long ball from E4 Jones out to Barnett on the wing. You don't know what he's going to do, E4, if he's going to go short, going to go long, going to dive himself. And this is a great setup from Lennon, linking with Jones quickly. It was a deflection off Davids, and Moffat scheming around the attacking line. Barnett faking out the defensive line of Australia. Ropati to Matt Sinclair. And how about this, just on half-time, Lennon picks up, bangs a massive left-to-right pass. Mansour on debut against New Zealand. Tips it back over for Dylan Hennessy. Hey, we saw some tempers flare. Some great passes, flick passes, sidestep. We're in for a hell of a second half.
It's been a first half that has had quite literally everything at the break. The Emus in front by a narrow margin, 6-5. A short break in all the second half action in just a moment.
From early morning jogs to late night workouts, from heartbreaking setbacks to the ecstasy of achieving your goal. We're your #1 supporter because we don't just know sport, we are sport. Sports Cover provides affordable, tailored insurance solutions designed to protect your sports and leisure lifestyle. Created by sports people for sports people. More than 35 years of industry-specific experience and knowledge makes us not only experts in our field, but pioneers of our industry. Commitment to customer service is our focus, and we are passionate about tailoring our range of products to ensure you are protected. So whether it's in the sporting arena or it's for fun and leisure, you play with pride. We protect with passion, because we don't just know sport, we are sport. Sports Cover. Get in touch with one of our representatives to find out more.
Welcome back here to Mudgee, the beautiful sights and sounds, the mountains in the background. Picture perfect, and certainly in that first half it was close to perfect from both teams. 6-5 the score, New Zealand finding plenty of joy down that left-hand channel, exploiting short side after short side, but the class of the Aussies still a little bit too much after the first 20. They've got the lead 6-5, Jackson Mills.
Yeah, we saw New Zealand early on in attack really go after the right-hand side defensive link of Australia's defence, and they scored 3 tries from it, picking up from dummy half, scooping through the defensive line, and picking up a player. That was in the first half of the first half. We didn't see them go back to that, so starting on in the second, I'd be interested to see if New Zealand revisits that attacking possession.
Mixed in with have the Aussies made the necessary recalibrations to try and shut it down if they do. Nobody leaving early from this one. A great crowd here at Glen Willow Regional Sporting Complex in Mudgee. Sun is shining, a great way to honour our diggers on Anzac Day. We are back underway now for the second half. Chris Lennon will start it. It's now Moffat, who got a double in that first half, carts it forward. Russell with Norman. It's been a formidable combination at international and, of course, origin level for years and years. Now Russell, big dummy. Ooh, now has he hurt himself there? Fell awkwardly.
He's all right.
Back to his feet now and back to the 7. Norman. Lennon scoops it, looking long, threatening to play short. Eventually pops the pass over the top. He actually squeezed through there, Chris Lennon.
I thought he could have thrown it just a little bit earlier out to Malkenny. He dived, got right into the line of New Zealand and just got probably a little bit too far on that occasion. But Lennon, again, looking sharp here in Mudgee.
Look at the press now from Australia too. They were shutting down that middle very quickly, forcing them out towards this left-hand side. As a result, it's a very disjointed subset from New Zealand. 4 players down, now into enemy territory. They've recovered quite well. Now speed here from Ropati, once again threatening with that big right foot. Last one brought up. He's got them very worried. He stepped up into the channel there, Norman.
That's a tough call. I have not seen a subset like that from any team in the history of touch football. New Zealand went to the open side. They subbed 3 players, 2 buddies on the left-hand side, and then swept 3 players on and come up with a 6 again. Repeat set on the line. Now you've got Ropati, E4 Jones, Matt Sinclair, and Tukana Hudson out there for New Zealand.
Well, Jones played it quickly. Nobody was in at acting half. Needs to stay alive in the play, but he was looking for a rest. Eventually, they got away with it. It was a close run thing. Davids is back out there now too.
Look how deep they are. They've pulled it out about 30 metres.
Sinclair working with Ropati. Now back to Davids, good speed, drops it down very quickly. Jones was looking for the scoop, but there was a stray boot left in there by an emu.
Tell you what, E4 Jones was signalling that could be a professional foul, and I'm kind of inclined to agree with him. That was a real scoring opportunity for New Zealand. You see Russell just stepping in the passing lane of E4 Jones.
Oh, now speed here. A big dummy as well. Burning them is Ropati, who has been absolutely sublime in this match.
Tama Ropati is having an absolute blinder. And he now goes over for New Zealand to draw level with Australia. 6 tries apiece as we take a look at the replay. Just turning and burning, and says goodbye to Pete Norman. Burnt on the outside with absolute speed. We get to take a look another look at that. He actually steps before he even gets the ball. Something insane. And Australia now coughing up the ball to New Zealand.
Well, it was like flicking a light switch. Once the ball arrived to him, he was on and away he went. Nobody was catching him. The turn of pace is just frightening. So he's locked up now at 6 tries apiece. A long way to go as well. 17 more minutes on the clock. New Zealand. This is probably the best position they've been in for some time to try and get one back on the Aussies. However, that's not the way to do it. I'll drop it just inside enemy territory. Carted forward, and then Simbolan on the follow-up. We'll send it wide now for Assay. Simbolan linking with Notley. Back out there once again. Langbridge in the 13, bouncing around the 7. Jones there with him as well. Took a little bit of time to get into acting half. Back to Lennon it goes. Lennon keeps it alive. Jones caught. Last one brought up. Lennon, left foot step. Big step for that matter. Finds some space. Looking for support. Oh, what a pickup from the Aussies. It was touched in flight. Somehow Riley Jones with a Superman dive got there in time and slams it down.
Lennon creating something out of really not much. He just picks up, shapes, steps off his left and just gasses Durban Burgess, who we know has had absolute foot speed. And Riley Jones just following up in support, takes a deflection off the New Zealand defence. And well, Australia back in front, 7 tries to 6.
We've had 13 tries. I'd say 10 of them have been extremely special. So what a match this is. The last of our 3 Anzac Day clashes with these 2 great teams. And the women's, the mixed, of course the men's here now. Women's going to an extra time drop-off as E4 Jones now works it on the 7. Quick speed from Sinclair, diving from range. He actually got stuck into the turf.
Tell you what, he's lucky he got touched because that was ball down.
So last one brought up now. Lucky escape perhaps from New Zealand. E4 Jones then with a little cartoonish stutter step. That was like watching Looney Tunes for a moment. So 7-6, Australia still in control here. Big dummy comes out. That time from Moffat. Now carting it forward. Russell followed up with a nice run here from Norman. Simbolan will keep the pressure on. Kane then scoops. Goes away from him. Late little switch. Hennessy, beautiful release out to this left-hand side. Then a big switch back to the right. Attempted tip-on from Kane. Under all sorts of pressure, there's the turnover.
Good ball passing from Australia. Jones coming out of half. It was Kane actually taking off, switching Dylan Hennessy back on the inside. And New Zealand now coming up with an error, gifting Australia a great chance to get a little breathing room on the scoreboard.
So Hennessy will restart things now. 7-6. It's been a while since the Aussies have had a decent little buffer. Hennessy will be looking for that now. Big right foot step. We wanted that fast play the ball inside the 7. Bit of a pet play for Hennessy. Delivers now short here for Jack Edwards. Hennessy once again.
Oh, he was not square, Hennessy.
Oh, Kane takes off, was looking for support. He was out of acting half, eventually touched. And there is the turnover. So, whilst they may have got away with that not being square, didn't amount to much.
Yeah, great defence from New Zealand. Yeah, Hennessy definitely not square when he played the ball. Kane picking up. And the New Zealand defensive line able to read it perfectly. But New Zealand now with a good drive from Sinclair, and now Davids back into the attacking zone.
Good meters from Davids as well. Great leg speed. Kane there to meet him. Well, Davids is asking for forceful contact, but he was just as strong with the attempted touch. He was fending him as contact was made. That's a disappointing set there from New Zealand.
Yeah, a bit of confusion between the referee and New Zealand. They were saying it was 4th touch, not 5th. David Badger on top of the touch count. It was 5th and last. Now Australia taking it into the New Zealand defensive line. An early ball movement from Hennessy to Edwards. David's reading it very well.
It was a risky one. Perhaps one that didn't need to be thrown. Now New Zealand screaming out of the line, applying the pressure. A little juggle there, and then once more an unnecessary pass. So twice in that one set, they've pushed a ball that really didn't need to be thrown, the Aussies. Turnover as a result is right on the half. That time Jones was the culprit. And New Zealand will take the opportunity to get some fresh players back on deck. David looked to be in front.
That's marginal.
Right in front of our position here. Now Morgan Tafia delivers for Davids. Jones and Lennon stepping up. There's a flick pass from Davids to E4 Jones, and then onto Morgan Tafia once again. Now Rapati, big right foot step a couple of times, floats the pass, or had the tip on come off. We would have been looking at another classic try.
Tell you what, Rapati, if he went long, New Zealand was scoring in the corner. Through Rihanna Finch, sorry. But yeah, just that right foot of Rapati is really causing concern for Australia's defence. We've seen it twice in the first half. Scored a great try in the second with Russell now.
Russell, short delivery, then catch and pass out wide. They go Assay, little bobble into New Zealand. That'll be the turnover. So 8 gone in this second half as we see the replay once again. Rapati deciding to go to this left-hand side despite the space on the right, but still nearly pulled them apart.
Yeah, he was actually hesitating when he threw that pass. If you look into it a little bit further, it was just a little lollipop to the link. But if he really committed and fired to the winger, they were in for all money.
Now good pressure here from the Aussies, stepping up nice and quick. Shutting down the space there, Nathaniel Turner forced into a quick release, and then E4 Jones.
That's great.
Pumping the ball.
I've never seen that before.
He's got all the different tricks, and now good speed here from Winiana, who really took off. Short release, little bobble, and that was ultimately the undoing there for New Zealand. Had he taken that cleanly, they had them rattled.
Look at E4 here. Oh, he's holding the ball up. He's having a great time. You can when you're the best in the world, but Australia now coughing up the ball. But we saw in that previous set from New Zealand, touches 4 and 5. They went back to that attacking link on the other side, didn't they? They got the ball down, scooped from dummy half, catching the Australians napping. Now it's a repeat set here for New Zealand on the line, and we've got Rapati. He's the danger man, number 13 for New Zealand.
Finch collapsing towards the line, trying to stretch out, but easily dealt with on that occasion. Rapati sends it back to the middle here to Akana Hudson. Met by Kane. Now takes off to this right-hand side. Kane tracking with him. Played on the 7. Short delivery from Winiana. Back to Tuakana Hudson. He was threatening. Has another look at the sideline official. He was hoping for the call here, but not forthcoming.
Jeez, I tell you what, that's close. Really close. Chris Lennon must have just nicked him because he was the only one offside. Luke Kane was nowhere near the try line.
Here is Kane now with the ball, met with a very strong touch. Forceful contact, in fact, from Barnett. So another fresh set to work with here for the Aussies. Play number 1, 10 shy of the halfway line. Hennessy gliding across the surface up towards that mark, and now Simbolan ups the tempo. Nice quick roll ball as well. Then for Luke Mansour. Now Moffat. Holding it up here on the 7. Another chance to strike. Jones working with him. Moffat, Jones once again. Back to Moffat. Good read from Rapati. Back to the 7 they go. Last one brought up here for the Aussies. Jones, stutter step, and then flinging a pass out to Mansour. And simply killing it away from the New Zealand box.
Yeah, you see Australia had a great roll into the line, and New Zealand just retracted to their try line, taking all of the speed out of Australia's go forward. Nothing doing there at the end. Great defence by New Zealand. Still trailing by 1. Less than 9 minutes to go here in the second half. And this was the pitch, James. Mudgee, it was 2013 where New Zealand got over Australia. Came away with the Trans-Tasman Test Series, but it's a very difficult task to do as New Zealand back on the attack.
Down a short side. Davids is super quick and a super finish as well. Somebody giving the cape. He went airborne. A lovely little short side raid from New Zealand. Well identified, and Davids had the speed to finish it.
Well, we've seen them do this. They come back to the middle and then go back to near the sub-box. Every single time they've caught Australia napping. And this time it's Mal Kenny on the wing. And take a look at that dive from Davids. Oh, my goodness. Lance Davids takes to the sky. and finishes that try in style.
So 7 tries apiece. So many classic finishes in this one. Lennon wrapping around now. One-handed grab there from Norman. Made it look like a little grapefruit in the hand. Lennon back to the middle once again. Scooping. Short delivery. Back to Lennon once more. So light on his feet. Well watched there, though, from New Zealand. Drops it down once again. A well-oiled machine, this Emu side, but another good read here this time from Turner. Last one brought up. Russell linking outside with Mansell, who made a really good in-line just to creep into a bit of space between link and wing there for New Zealand.
That was close. A cheeky undersline there by Mansell. Sometimes it does catch the defending winger out because you just don't expect it. Oh, they're saying ball down. I thought Barnett caught that for all money.
I was potentially concerned about a touch pass there. It was a very late release. Here it is again on the replay.
David's forcing the pass. I can't really see there. But Australia now gifted some great field position.
Oh, Simbolan, Lennon, then with speed. Turner's claiming the touch. Skelly will agree.
Great touch from Turner. Outstretched on Chris Lennon.
Now Mansell back to the middle. Simbolan. His work has been quality as well. Simbolan taking off, ensuring that he didn't get caught out of acting half. Back to Lennon he went. Then for Kane. Now Simbolan back to the 7 once again. Lennon dancing, finding support. Kane's there, all little juggle, and set upon very quickly by Poi Hippie, who applied enough pressure, but will come back to the 7 once again here.
Yeah, just got a touch on it, didn't he? Great work from Jack Edwards, digging into the line. Kane couldn't reel it in, but yep, Australia again. Here's a repeat set.
Simbolan bouncing about. Hennessy back on deck once again.
Well, good read.
Shooting out of the line there. It was quick from Winiana, a little bit too quick, offside the call. So 6 to go, locked up at 7 apiece. Last time the Emus had sustained pressure up along the New Zealand 7. They came away with a try, but that was after 4 sets. Hennessy now delivers back to the middle. Lennon dropping it down, gets it back once again, threatening there with Simbolan. Oh, he's set upon there with a strong collision with Morrison.
Yeah, Winiana throwing his arm out. He thought Lennon may have been throwing the pass, so trying to block that down while touch him at the same time. Great effort, defensive effort from New Zealand.
Now Hennessy working with Kane. Hennessy, short release. Lennon changing the angle just as he got the ball. Again, beautifully watched from New Zealand. Durban Burgess shutting down the middle. Hennessy, a little bit of a backtrack here to Simbolan. Once more setting up the strike dump. Hennessy asking questions. Links up with Lennon. That pass had way too much pepper on it.
Oh, dear. Lennon's going down. Hamstring, clutching at his hamstring in the backfield. Oh, you could see him as soon as he dug into the line. He gripped after that pass. So watch here. Lennon gets an early release from Hennessy, throws it long, and then grabs the hamstring straight away.
That's the right leg. That's not good to see. Geez, we've had a few hamstring injuries this tournament. Tommy Wong yesterday, for example.
Yeah, we saw Drew Price as well from the Australian Mixed Opens team. Tim Bartz is carrying a hamstring injury as well in that same team. And now, yeah, we see Lennon go down in the background. But now referees identifying a forward pass from New Zealand. We've just seen a bit of a breakdown from the New Zealand subset. Yes, they're being able to score, but they need to make sure that they're finishing the ball up the other end every time, because Australia has had all ball possession down on the try line.
Now a short release here for Jones. Then Jack Edwards can't get forward. Mansour out of acting half, turns it back to the middle. Russell, Norman, wrapping is Edwards. Quick release back from Russell, then to Norman. Great read from Poi Hippie, jamming in from out wide. Lennon is back to his feet, but moving very gingerly. Hennessy with a bit of space on this left-hand side. Oh, the tip-on was exceptional from Edwards. Into the arms of Bailey Assay it goes. Blink and you'll miss it. It's clockwork from the Emus.
Oh, that's going to hurt New Zealand mentally. That's 5th and last. They decide to go open side after Norman telling them to kill it in the corner. And Jack Edwards, just as casually as you like, taps it over the top to Bailey Assay. Yeah, that kills you as if you're New Zealand. Very deflating. They haven't had the ball up this end of the field in quite some time. Repeat sets, repeat efforts for Australia. But not for New Zealand. So they've got the big dogs on here now. Durban Burgess.
Now Winiana having a crack at them. Stretched out from range. Now Kim Skelly suggesting an Aussie was offside, but Baggio will say there was at least one that was back in time. It must have been Moffat. Here it is again on the replay. Oh yeah, just coming back through the middle. Might have been Jones actually. So now drop down here for New Zealand. Last one brought up, Durban Burgess. Floating sinker pass for E4 Jones. Great read from Mansour though.
Time getting away now for New Zealand. 2.5 minutes to play. You'd think New Zealand may have 2 or 3 sets left. If Australia can hold the ball and put it up the other end of the field every time, it's going to make it very difficult for New Zealand. And yeah, Jake Notley milking that one. All 3 leaders of it.
Well, that was a Logie-worthy effort there for Notley. Now Kane carting it forward. Touch is made. Last one brought up. Great one-handed scoop from Simbolan. Oh, picked off though from Poi Hippie. He was off for all money. Good touch just in time.
It's a replay of Notley. Oh, that's outstanding. Oh, he's absolute character of the game, Jake Notley. He's been a bit quiet in this game. We love to see him in open pasture. But they've had the likes of Lennon and Hennessy out there in attack.
Last one now, E4 Jones scheming, bombing it long. Pop back on the inside from Poi Hippie. Oh, the chance to finish. I think they've gone out though. For mine, I don't think that'll stand. They're having a chat, although they're celebrating here in New Zealand. This will be very interesting on the replay, but it's going to stand. So it'll be Matt Sinclair diving in the corner. Take another look at this. I had my doubts about it being put on the sideline.
I think Dylan Hennessy has just touched him. He was struggling to get across, but he does put his body on the line. Sinclair sees an open try line, and Hennessy just getting across, just gets him on the hip or the glute, I think, before the ball is down.
I think there's also a foot on the sideline even before that point, though, Jackson. Have a look at this again.
Here.
Just there.
Yeah.
Sinclair. I think he's gone into touch regardless. So, bit of controversy. Minute to go, locked up at 8 apiece. Aussies in the box seat to try and claim it right here and now. Moffat will go direct. And Moffat gets it. Well, big step off the right foot, then collapsing quickly. They'll award that one so we can cancel out the controversy.
Well, that's clutch from Hayden Moffat. Taking absolutely no prisoners. Look at him just get the ball back. He's so composed. Inside Nathaniel Turner and Ropati doing what he does best with his footwork. Well, here we go. This is New Zealand's last chance.
They've got all the big guns on deck too. Jones, Sinclair, back to Jones. Didn't like what he saw on that occasion. Durban Burgess, they got them for numbers. Ropati is dangerous. Oh, he's dangerous, all right. Now, they're claiming the touch, the Aussies, but I'm with Ropati on this one.
He's got to play it. There's only 8 seconds to go before the hooter. This will be it. They need to find a strike dump. Durban Burgess needs to get the ball on the ground.
Oh, he's not going to do so, though, and the ball comes free. New Zealand just falls short. They threw everything except for the kitchen sink at the Aussies, and somehow the Emus survive. Here it is again on the replay. Rapati was very tight there with Moffat. Might be worth another look, in fact. Rapati adamant he wasn't caught.
Tell you what, that's very close. Goes both ways, I guess. They scored earlier in the session. Rapati, just look at this. Does he get the ball across the line?
Oh,
I tell you what.
I think that's a try there, Jackson.
Yeah, I back you in as well. I think that's ball down from Rapati. Man of the match, I think, in my personal opinion. He was outstanding. He was involved in try assists, tries himself. We saw some absolute fantastic footwork from Rapati. But Australia come out on top at this Anzac Day test here in Mudgee. 9 tries to 8 as we take a look at some of the replays. Moffat was good, wasn't he? Scoring a try at the end there to put Australia in the driver's seat. Saw Lennon linking well with Jones throughout the entire game. And it was interesting attack-wise from New Zealand. We saw them attack that short side link every single time they had a good flow on. Never seen that before from New Zealand. So maybe we'll see that tomorrow when they potentially face each other in the grand final here at the Asia Pacific Cup. And that man there, number 13, Ropati, dominated and decimated the Australia's defence. And Lennon, let's hope he's okay. He pulled up with a little bit of a hamstring injury late in the match. But this is what we're talking about. New Zealand back on the short side. We see Davids get a break here and check out this try. He goes aerial, doesn't he? Oh, yeah, we love to see that. And this is the turning point, in my opinion, I think that's what deflated the tyres from New Zealand. It was fifth and last, absolutely nothing happening. And James, you had questions on this one. Touches, tries on the touchline, feet on the touchline.
I think it's a bit of an evening out here, though, Jackson, because then if we have a look once again here at Sinclair dancing on the sideline, look, Fermini has touched it, but by the same token, Rapati, I think he was clean through. So, look, you take it with the swings and roundabouts. The touch football